Grace and peace to you, Christ Community family. I hope and pray you're healthy and well as we come together for our Wednesday's Word, our midweek devotionals. For this week, I want to share a devotional from Colossians chapter 3, the Word of the Lord. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Now, um, when I think about sports teams, right? If you're a fan of a certain sports team, there's going to be times where you are going to bear with the losing streaks. There's going to be times where you forgive those losing streaks, especially if your team wins the championship. I think of, for example, my fandom for the Los Angeles Dodgers. As many of you know, I'm from Southern California, and I love watching Dodger games. But because of the time difference, there are times when I stay up fairly late just to watch those games. There are times when, especially before the Dodgers were good, they went through a tough stretch where they weren't as good. But I still followed through watching the team year after year. But if you think about it, because of the fandom that you may have for that certain team, that means you're then unashamed to be a proud Dodger fan. I think of baseball fans here in New York as well. The Mets are not going through a not so good stretch right now, but there are people that are still unashamed and proud to be a Mets fan, right? So let me ask us this question. Are we unashamed to be a proud follower of Jesus Christ? Are we unashamed to stand firm on the solid rock of Jesus Christ? You see, if there are people that are misrepresenting Jesus, are we still going to stand firm and say, no, we are still going to be standing under the banner of God's love? The book of Colossians, in the first two chapters, talks about the supremacy of Christ. It talks about the sufficiency of Jesus Christ. Now, Paul gives a call for believers to cultivate the virtues and values of Jesus through his compassion, humility, patience, and forgiveness. How we speak, how we act, what we wear, how we live, it should all reflect the supremacy and sufficiency of our Christ, where we stand unashamed. Verse 12 teaches us this: therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. One of the hardest things to do is forgive those who have wronged us. But the more we reflect on what Jesus did for us and how he forgave us, the more we'll be able to forgive those around us. You see, that forgiveness isn't to avoid a wrong or a right on our own. That forgiveness is to actively reflect the character of Jesus Christ. That forgiveness is the perfect example on how the love of Christ holds these virtues together in unity. Verse 14 teaches us, and over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. The love of Christ is a defining mark of spiritual maturity. The love of Christ exemplifies all and shows the true character and actions of individuals whose hearts are rooted in Jesus Christ. Therefore, the deeper those roots are, the stronger the peace of Christ will be. Verse 15 teaches us, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you are called to peace, and be thankful. Why do we struggle to forgive others? Why do we struggle to experience forgiveness? I believe it's because we're too busy compartmentalizing the love of Christ. We're too busy compartmentalizing the peace of Christ and the morality of Christ. You see, Christian unity teaches us that each goes hand in hand so that we can be fueled by the love of Christ and be comforted by the peace of Christ that surpasses all understanding. That peace of Christ does go beyond any human comprehension. May these words from Colossians be a blessing and an empowerment and a challenge for you this week. Love you all, but God loves you more. Have a blessed week.